Welcome to our presentation for the European AI on Demand platform, which we have developed over the last 2 years. And we want to show you the current status of the platform and the perspective and the focus and vision of the platform. And my colleague, Lutz, who will introduce himself now, and then I would like to introduce myself, and then we start directly into the talk. Lutz.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Welcome, and thank you for coming in such a beautiful day outside and listening to us this morning. So we are very grateful that you are here. My name is Lutz Voelker. I'm a managing partner of Aspect Partners. We are a consulting firm that is basically populated with senior executive and technicians out of the IT industry, and we are part of the European project of the AI on Demand platform, leading particularly the solution architecture part of the project under Joachim's guidance. And I hand over to Joachim now.
So, myself, Joachim Köhler, I'm normally working for Fraunhofer IES in St. Augustine. I'm the head of department, and for the project and this initiative, I'm the coordinator of the project called Deploy AI. And the platform, this European platform, is called European AI on Demand platform. And it's about sovereignty in Europe, which becomes more and more important. We will hear this also later. And I guide you a little bit through the project, through the platform, and Lutz later will give the main architecture, how it really works to access. So the situation in Europe is pretty clear. So we have a lot of AI. So all this exhibition is about AI, about physical AI. But I think there's a huge gap between the implementation situation in Europe, so about AI adoption and reality. So we need to bring AI faster to the industry, to application, because we see that AI becoming more and more important to change processes in companies completely. So companies reinvent themselves with AI, and this is more dramatic than the introduction of the internet. So this is one strategic goal, that this platform will help this AI adoption in Europe. Then, of course, situation a little bit in Europe, European AI industry. So I think we are pretty well positioned in Europe in many aspects. Yeah. So Europe is full of companies, full of SMEs. We have also very good large companies. We have a lot of research organization. We have a lot of infrastructure. But of course, what brings us a little bit behind the US players and China is the speed, the adoption speed of AI, and also the fragmentation. So we have a huge fragmentation here in Europe, and this we have to overcome, and this platform should help to overcome this fragmentation, to bring European AI assets and innovation results to one place, and give this and bundle these AI innovation products to services and new products also in a European infrastructure, and to have Europe, the idea of Europe technology first here in the platform. So as I said, here are some figures. I don't go into much detail of the figures, but it shows again. So there's a huge potential of AI in Europe, also with European AI technology. But on the other hand, the AI adoption rate is a little bit behind other areas in the world. And combined with this huge fragmentation we have in Europe, we have to really hurry up and to make also more visible offers to the industry. I'm pretty sure that nobody heard about several European initiatives. Probably you also had not, you didn't hear about the platform, and we need more lighthouse project and initiatives to bring European AI technology in front. And if you see also why companies are not really using AI so far, it's a lot of lacking expertise. I mean, if an SME sometimes has not the competence and the expertise to apply AI, and then we have also in Europe the situation due to the European AI Act that it's also not so clear how AI can be used, and this makes things a little bit more unsure, and companies are hesitating using AI. And of course, the other point is really protection of data. I think we see a lot of offers from the US companies with platforms, and companies also hesitate using them because it's really the danger to give the data away, and this is the asset of each company. And with the platform, we tackle all these three issues, and we offer a way using European AI technology with expertise, with helping trustworthiness, and also with a different infrastructure. So that's the mission. So what we built, so we are in the middle on the way, so it's not completely finished. So we have half time in the project. The project I will describe very briefly. So we are on the way to build a trustworthy AI platform for Europe, in Europe, with a lot of collaborative innovation, with scalable technology. Scalability means scale on infrastructure side, but also scaling on European level, so that your product is not only available in a country, just in Germany, that it's also used in Finland, in Spain, and other European country. And what we want to really achieve is a high visibility of European technology. So if you have too many parallel initiatives, it's very difficult to make a brand, but with this initiative, we can make a brand in Europe and really leverage European AI technology to European companies and for the benefit of Europe. So now I already said European projects, and some of you may be aware there are many projects in Europe been ongoing. So here we have a list of activities in Europe which are ongoing, and it's very difficult to understand what happens. What happens in the EDIHs, that's AI transfer centers, what happens in the TEFs, and we have also initiatives called AI factories. I don't know who have heard about this already. I know a few persons heard about here in the room, but this is really a strong initiative. We have 19 AI factories in Europe. AI factories are huge HPC centers, so we are lacking HPC resources in Europe, we know this, but now Europe has given an answer and has funded 19 AI factories across Europe. So there's a huge access to HPC resources. So if your company, your organization needs HPC resources, you can go there, use it, and apply this also in a very friendly manner, also very very less cost intensive. And we have to bring this together because nobody will be able to understand what all the AI factories are doing, what the EDH doing on this platform, bundles these in results of these projects, the services of this project, and make it accessible to you, to your company. And this we want to show you now a little bit more in detail, how your organization, how your company can benefit from the AI on demand platform, how to bring your products and your company to the platform. And I start with the marketplace. Before I go in this area, I also would announce, and later Lutz will give then a more deep insight and more deep dive into the service architecture to access open language models from Europe. And the context, of course, of this marketplace is again this AI on demand platform. So we have now a platform which is production ready. So in the project, which started 2 years ago, the project is called Deploy AI. That's a project funded in the Digital Europe program of the European Commission. So we are 28 partners to build this. So it's a huge European initiative. And we are also connecting research results from the community with the industry. And the platform is basically in the first stage ready to use. So we have a very professional marketplace. It's built by a digital company called Convotes. So industry standard, it's working very robustly. And on this marketplace, we have already several services, tools, which I would like to show you in a little bit more detail. And then really the idea is that you can scale up your products, your results, your visibility of your organization to 27 EU countries. So, and this is really a European answer and a European lighthouse, digital lighthouse project to make AI accessible on one place. So, also with the platform, this I only touch a little bit, is you can also develop with your platform, with this platform, AI solutions. And therefore we have these three steps: develop, train, operate. So it's beyond the marketplace. You can use tools from the marketplace to do these 3 steps. And if you want to develop an AI solution, you probably know you are now using vibe coding. You are using more sophisticated tools already. But it's also important that you can reuse European technology already. And with the marketplace and the catalog, you can directly use trustworthy tools. You have a central access point. You can also plug them together, and you can increase really the speed to build an AI application. And that's important. So we know that many, especially SMEs and also large companies, are lacking speed in this AI adoption process. And so we can speed up the process a lot with the platform. So it's designed for European companies mainly, and we ensure that the tools which are on the platform are trustworthy, follow the European regulation, and that at the end these solutions can scale. So the develop step, as I said, is really using existing technology. So we also provide a low-code tool to assemble more complex workflows. The tool which are using is called AI Builder. And then you can also use existing European AI models. They are coming more and more European AI models for text, for also multimodal applications. And the advantage, Lutz will explain this in more details, you don't have a vendor lock-in. You can switch between modules, between technology. You are not really forced to use just one technology from one provider. So, and the other thing is, of course, the training. So if you are now using Gen AI, language model, frontier AI models, you have to train your model with company data, with your for your use case, for your domain, for your sector, for your vertical. And here we offer a huge amount of HPC resources and tools doing this. So you have access to everything to adapt, to train an AI model on the platform with the tools of the platform. And everything is done under EU regulation and compliant issues. So everything is transparent. This helps to really bring added value. And then, of course, if you have an application, a new AI application, you can operate this, you can deploy it on European infrastructure, sovereign infrastructure. We have a colleague from Jonas here in the room. So on Jonas infrastructure, on other infrastructure, Meluxina in Luxembourg. And so we have more infrastructure providers. And the other big advantage of the platform is that you have a huge cockpit for companies you can address. So it's called the Business Navigator, where also your organization can register and get additional visibility. So this is so the AI on Demand platform really covers the whole life cycle to build an AI application and to bring it to the market based on European technology. And here, these are the 3 tools. I just want to show briefly again the marketplace. The marketplace is the area where you can put your product. If you have a product from your company, you can put it there. You can onboard this. This is an e-commerce solution behind. It's a catalog of European AI products. So, and we have everything, the whole billing behind this. So, and you have this for different verticals, for different areas, for computing, for HPC, for model using, for specific application like vision, like time series analysis. Everything is on the platform. So we have roughly 100 products already on this, and you can onboard very easily your product here in this marketplace and make it visible across Europe. Then we have, of course, the Business Navigator. That's a little bit the showroom for your company in Europe. So if you register there, so you just have to go to the platform, AI.p.ai, and then you can register there, and then you are visible on the European stage with your organization, and then of course you can connect to other players. If you need a partner in Greece, a partner in Portugal, so you can connect to these organizations, and we create with these Business Navigator a central entry point for the European AI ecosystem, and then companies can network, scale, and exchange across Europe. So this is the second application, and this is a little bit, again, the summaries we have. So with the AI on Demand platform, we can deliver high-speed services. You have access to the customers. You have access to European innovation results. We onboarded the results of many European research initiatives. So you can empower everyone, so deploy and customize the AI solution, and you can operate your AI solution on a European sovereign infrastructure provided by companies like Jonas, by others. And I think this is my part of the presentation. Now I switch to Lutz. Lutz will dive a little bit deeper into this architecture and services we offer. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Joachim, and thank you for again for joining us today. So my part is a little bit more deeping into the architecture and service delivery out of the perspective of a product developer. I have been in software application development and product development all my life, and therefore we also want to make sure that apart from the showcase scenario of a marketplace, we also want to bring technology and standardization value in the area of AI to the industry. And when we are discussing about building products, and we see massive amount of approaches and projects going on, we will see companies that are building applications based on AI components and technology from scratch. But we see the massive amount of industry, IT industry partners in the standard product and software product development, software manufacturers that do have established solutions in the industry, in the ERP, logistics, CRM space, in the industry that are now undergoing a massive transformation towards AI, but still building on existing legacy. So they are now in a major transformation process, and typically when you start building an AI-oriented application or an application with AI components and tools, you of course have to do a substantial amount of technical consideration that are very different from the way you built software in the past. Yeah. So what you're doing is tooling and integration complexity. It's the fine-tuning versus prompt engineering. It's cost and pricing scenarios. We all understand that the training and also the execution and later deployment of AI-based solution also goes along with a significant amount of infrastructure requirements, GPU requirements, which are not cheap. So we are here also in a world that is more or less in the moment a high price environment. And at the end of the day, it is also the model performance as such versus use case fit. So these are typical technical questions a development team has to discuss and answer before they enter into the actual work. But given also geopolitical infrastructure influences that we have seen now in the last couple of months and years, I mean, there are also now questions popping up that probably haven't been an issue 5 years ago, but now they are. And that's the question of sovereignty of the technology and the infrastructure that is providing solutions to the end customers. And given our, let's say, presence in the European community environment, I mean, we're also seeing a lot of requests coming from, let's say, mission critical infrastructure providers, from defense, from other areas that are now looking very much into this part of the scenario. And then you really need to discuss proprietary models versus open source. Yeah, we need to discuss about vendor lock-in. We will come to this in a minute. We need to discuss about data sovereignty. We are talking about the compliance to the AU Act, but there's another, let's say, obstacle around this, and that is the US Cloud Act. Yeah, we do see that the US Cloud Act in the moment does not give a true sovereignty to providers that are using proprietary technology infrastructure. Yeah, and so besides the technical side, there is now strategic consideration that are also driving decision-making processes for technology scenarios. And don't get me wrong, we are not a hyperscaler and we don't compete with the big hyperscalers here, but we are just thinking from showing and setting up sovereign alternative to the existing providers and trying to define models, architectures, and technical, I would call it even de facto standards for sovereign and open industry standards in this context. Yeah. So one of the big issues is the vendor lock-in. In the moment, it is very easy to jump on one of the new proprietary, and I don't even want to mention one here because there's other good tools. And as a developer, I'm absolutely fascinated around these tools. But when you once log in and build a very complex application on this, you are definitely locked in this scenario. And what we are seeing already is in the moment you start scaling, particularly when you're getting out of the development environment, starting into production, serving customers, even scaling customers, that you are getting trapped in a cost scenario that is in the moment very unpredictable. Yeah. The second part is the sovereignty as such. It is definitely the definition of what is the application from your side, how sovereign do you need to be, how mission critical is your application, and last but not least, it's the compliance aspect that is now coming. This project, by the way, is positioned directly under the AI office, so we are more or less through our hierarchy reporting to the AI office in Brussels, which is the regulatory body for the AI Act. Yeah? Last but not least, it's a minor issue, but at least we want to mention it. It's the local language issue. Yeah, so because we still have models, or let's say, let's come from the other side, the majority of the models that in the moment are existing are trained on English language. Yeah, but we do have a broad variety of local languages like Greek, like Lithuanian and others. And those countries also started developing own models, and the majority of those models will be provided on an open source basis. Yeah, just to satisfy those kinds of needs. So what we see, the increasing demand of sovereign end-to-end solutions. This is true for the cloud area definitely already, but since we are also now starting to scale up the availability of AI solutions, this is also becoming a mission-critical path, because in the AI scenarios, we are not talking only about the technology stack as such, but also about the training data and other things in that context. So sovereignty is a topic on the strategic decision-making process for each of the company, whether they not want to enter in such a dependency or stay in an open standard. Yeah. So what we are seeing is that the open source models are now meeting enterprise maturity. I mean, about 2 years ago, the open source model were weak. Let's be crystal clear. To build robust industry solutions was difficult. Yeah, but the time has now shown that we are now seeing models coming that have a high degree of robustness, that we can bring industry applications into these technology scenarios. It's the regulatory pressure, and of course, last but not least, the overall increasing demand. When we are talking to our customers and partners, these are around a significant amount of software companies in Europe, they say about 2 years ago, nobody was asking for sovereignty, with maybe some few examples. Meanwhile, we have almost 50% of our tenders that we are working in are requesting a certain level of sovereignty in this context. So what we are now discussing is, you have seen Joachim, who was representing the outcomes of the first years of the project, where we were building the marketplace and bringing the applications together. The next step is now, and that is what we are now talking about for the next 2 years, is an open, sovereign, scalable AI industry platform that is sovereign, scalable, and enterprise ready. So, and I'm happy to say that we will be able to launch the first version in summer this year with some strong partners, also Jonas, who is being here today. And I will show you what we are planning to do. So let me jump over the next slide. So the first step we have been doing so far is thinking about a service architecture, an open service architecture that's sovereign and is bringing together the ability to provide open source models straightforward to the industry, but also trying to define what we call a kind of open industry layer that is basically talking about an open industry API, where we are able to connect applications to the, let's say, infrastructure provided here. I would call it a kind of an open AI industry bus. Yeah, it's a GenAI gateway. This component has been developed by Joachim's team so far. It's ready to run. It's available. We are in the moment going through robustness testing and some stress testing in the moment, but this model is available. and we see already some supercomputer centers and also partners like Jonas starting to adapt this as one of their industrial API interfaces for open standards. Yeah? The next level is to provide a sovereign foundation model hub. So what we are trying to do is to bring a condensed hub for all open source models to be provided through these standard infrastructure. Yeah? So in the moment, and we will show you, we have around about 30 models available that we can deploy in collaboration with our partner in Luxembourg, the Luxembourg Supercomputing Center Meluxina. And we are deploying those models from there. But step by step, we will add more services. So Jonas, we are discussing already with the first industrial provider in that context, and there are more to come. Yeah. So this is basically the core of our work, talking about a standardized open standard industry API and a foundation model hub or a model hub, because in the future we will see more models to come, we will see small models to come, we will see vertical models to come for particular applications. Particularly the healthcare sector is very strong already in those scenarios, but it is a sovereign infrastructure, open standards that is accessible for all those model providers. What we are putting also is, because this is there, but it is not very much visible. So our ambition was also to provide a deployment layer, taking the infrastructure we have in the consortium with the partners in the consortium to provide a service layer that is providing the most urgent needs of software providers to provide industrial AI applications to the market. And what we are seeing as the fourth step is GPU hosting and inference services. So these are really rare services in the moment. When you are starting to build your own product and application, and you are contracting or signing up on one of the major providers of the proprietary side, you will see that there are very expensive, very unflexible pricing models to lock you in, and there are certain unpredictable scenarios also when it comes to scalability. So what we are in the moment doing is, together with two supercomputing centers and an industrial partner like Jonas, setting up service scenarios for GPU hosting and inference provisioning in a very flexible manner. So we are currently working together with some industry partners coming out of the startup scene with very flexible models to build and deploy, train, and later, of course, operate such models in a very flexible way, very important, in a sovereign infrastructure. So what we are talking here is no proprietary technology stack. We are talking here about sovereign infrastructure stacks, not only hosted in Europe, but it's also developed in Europe and with the blessing of the regulator. Yeah, please be aware that this project runs under the AI office. So whatever we are doing has the blessing of the regulatory body in Europe. Yeah. Last but not least, we're integrating cloud services, sovereign cloud services for provisioning. We have multiple providers. We have Jonas, we have Meluxina, and we have an industry partner called Convotis that are providing this. But what we are trying to do is here to also, this will be published as an open service architecture. So whatever we are doing here is a kind of proof of concept to show this is how it could work. Any other infrastructure service provider, any other industry partner is definitely allowed to use this, let's say, architectural model to implement their own services. And we also want to invite industry partners also applying to those standards. Last but not least, just to complete the whole story of service provisioning, which is something I think in terms of making it adaptable for a day-to-day use, that we are providing a tools layer with various tools in order to support industry, to support software providers, to build products and to, of course, check them for compliance. So we are providing two areas. One is the DevOps part, which is basically related on low-code application builder tools that are also coming from Fraunhofer that we are going to launch straightforward. But on the agentic, then we are also launching now an agentic workflow tool that is coming from an industrial partner out of France. It's the agentic workflow tool called Paradigm, coming from the company Light On. They are well established in the market already as a workflow and agentic services provider. So they are also bringing their products on the market. And last but not least, we will provide 3 compliance tools. It will become later a suite of compliance tools that are serving AI Act compliance needs in respect to legal compliance, in respect to ethical compliance, and the overall performance and functionality checking in this context. So it's a little bit a beginning of a suite of services. We are beginning of a journey, but this is basically what we are going to launch. What you see here has 2 aspects. Number 1, it's the standardization objective of bringing an open standard to the market, to the industry, and second, a proof of concept that these things can work operationally together in an industrial grade matter to serve really industry needs of software manufacturers and system integrators and solution providers. Yeah? So that's basically objective. We are launching the first version of this by summer with some fine tuning. The project itself will still last until end of next year. So what we are doing in the following months is getting a better integration scenario. User front end will be tuned, what you typically do when you are launching such a complex provisioning. But the other part will also be asking and attracting industry partner to join what we are doing here. So just one word on this one, and I also may ask Joachim to support here a little bit. So the core of everything is an industry standard that we are starting to build. It's the foundation model hub with evaluation tools for the LLMs. I mean, you want probably to test which model is the best fit for my application demand. The second thing is a user interface. But what we also are providing is a very comprehensive set of model cards. So that is a real, I would call it a support tool for the developers. And in the second thing, it's the open API layer that we are currently generating. And what we are doing here, we will trigger off an industry initiative by summer, starting by summer, where we are also inviting industry partners to help us to develop this standard forward and to complement the standard in a most hopefully very well adapted, let's say, industry API to be used in many other application areas. So what you see here is basically what we are trying to do is in the moment, we are also integrating various components. So we have GPU servers, inference services that could also come from the industry, from standard industrial service providers. We are step by step now starting what we call the AI factories. The AI factories is the group of supercomputing centers that are based in Europe. It's about, what is it, 15 or 18? 18, yeah. 19, yeah. So 19 supercomputing centers. One is in Jülich, one is in Luxembourg, Lumi is in the north of Finland. We have Mare Nostrum in Barcelona. These have been research driven in the past couple of years, but the Commission is now starting an initiative to open up those capacities for commercial and industrial use. So we see that there is a certain demand of such amount of services to be provided, and now the Commission is reacting on this to open up the capacity for industrial use, and of course that requires service and business models. So the most advanced, to our understanding, is Meluxina and Lux Provide in Luxembourg that is already providing a very comprehensive set of services. Yeah. Last but not least, we are also trying to attract the model providers. So Jonas will definitely provide their models also through this gateway. And this is, of course, an invitation to other industrial partners to go that way. Okay, I just want to get too much in there, looking a little bit. And just to give you a quick overview of what's available today. I talked about the local language models. So these are the local language models that are available on the platform. These are the models that will be provided by Lux provide Meloxina in the moment. This is status as of today. It's continuously growing, yeah? So this is what we are providing through Meloxina, but there's more to show. So Fraunhofer is now merging all the edge cloud services towards Jonas and towards Meloxina, and we have other products coming, other open source models coming from Jonas. Lumi is the high performance computing center in Finland. They are also part of the consortium. They are providing additional computational resources, and we do also have established an API to Cortex AI, also getting access to those data sources. Yeah. So this is it. So this is what we are talking about. Will come very soon. By summer, we are launching the first version. Maybe I don't want to get into this one, but I just want to highlight this as my last slide to you. What we are basically doing now, and again, we are in a very interesting, in the beginning it was a little bit challenging scenario of classical research partners in the world and industry partners. So there's a group of industry partners inside as well. I can say after 2 years, it was a pleasure. It was really an inspiring work, because there were so many ideas coming together from the various worlds that this is now really, I can say, a very, for us at least, satisfying outcome. So what do we want to do move forward? First of all, we want to bring forward the open industry standard. So you will see initiatives to come by summer, where we are also starting with industry events in order to attract industry, major players. I see representatives from major players here in the room, Deutsche Bahn, Volkswagen, etc., that we are trying to create an industry forum dealing with this open standard API. And the second part is by, let's say, our POC approach, showing that there is an industrial blueprint available for service providers providing such services in the future in a sovereign matter, with the blessing of the AI, of the AI office in Brussels. So this is basically where we are today. Thank you very much. And we are open for questions. Thank you.
So, if there are other questions from the audience?
Hast du den? Ah, ja.
Other question, remarks? So, you have to use this mic.
Thank you very much for this.
Wir müssen zu Ihnen kommen. We need to come to you because it is very loud here.
Okay, thank you very much for this impressive project. My question is, as a next step, have you already performed a stakeholder map to see where are all the stakeholders that you would like to bring in, so that it's not just an EU project, but an EU success?
Yeah. I directly answer, yeah. So I think this is an excellent question, yeah, because we also seeing in the project that many European partners are used to stay in the, we call it European bubble, yeah. But that's our role. So Fraunhofer is very transfer-oriented. Aspect Partners has a huge contact to industry, and we want to bring with the industrial partners the results to the industry, especially to the SMEs, because a large industry has their own environment to do innovation, AI innovation, but the European, German SMEs, they are suffering, not having this access, and that's why we are here. So we want to overcome this European bubble, and we are really pushing a lot of effort to do that. And of course, there are different stakeholders. Of course, also the SMEs are a huge community of different verticals, whatever. Yeah, but I think that's a clear mission, and we taking care that this will happen.
Yeah. But overall, maybe just adding some very quickly, the European Commission in the moment, who is actually our customer, is developing a roadmap for integrating a majority of the European projects step by step coming to the platform. And with the industry partners and also looking to Jonas and our partners out of the industry, we are now starting step by step to launch an industry initiatives. And we have already started with talking with some stakeholders, but this is now an approach that we are going step by step to key players in the industry, to present the concept and to discuss the possibility and the need of open standards to be established. We believe it should, but there are ongoing discussions also with major players, particularly also in the area out of the service providers, but also directly to industry partners. Yeah.
And one sentence to add, we have last week started an initiative part of the project called Open Calls. So SME startups can apply to get funding from the project to to build an AI application, to launch the AI application on the marketplace. And this call is open. You, as company, as organization, you can apply. 60,000 euros is the price. Yeah, so you can get 60,000 euro if you have a good idea to implement with a platform. So, and we address only SMEs here. More questions? Yeah.
Just more in detail.
There's also one.
Do you have a
Nachher auch noch.
concise program really to address the SMSEs?
Pardon me?
Do you have already a program to really advertise and communicate your product?
No.
But I think that's important.
Yes.
If nobody knows, you can forget it.
Well, as we know, I mean, in the moment, this project has been driven out of the research funding of the Commission. We are currently discussing with the Commission in terms of further promotion of the projects to the outside world. Yeah. But in the moment, this is, as it is always in these kind of projects, there is not big budgets for promoting such scenarios. Yeah. But step by step, it will do. Yeah.
There's a question here.
Yeah. Hello, and thank you for the presentation. I think it's a very interesting project, and definitely what the
I'm
industry.
listening here. Sorry, it's so noisy here.
What the industry needs at the moment. I have a few questions. So,
Sure, go ahead.
the first is to the marketplace. You mentioned that every company can put their products on the marketplace, and that you are already finished with the billing things. How does it work? Can you only sell your products for like one payment price, or can you do like licensing on the platform, on the marketplace?
Well, you have to come with a clear license model to the so if you have different license models, you can also offer different license models, but you have to show them in a very transparent way to the platform. I think that's the issue. And then this marketplace has more the role really to help you to improve your sales process, and then there's of course some fee using the platform for this. So
There are there's a couple of qualification process now in the pipeline that aren't established yet, but particularly when it comes to compliance, there will be, let's say, a scenario of also checking your application for certain levels of compliance along the guidelines of the European AI Act, and that will give you some certain marks or some star rating or whatever
Okay, that
in
will
respect to the compliance side. Yeah,
be done automatically by your team or by your.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. That's perfect. My second question, like we are already using the AI Model Hub from Ionis at the moment.
Yeah,
very good, very good.
very good.
And the pricing there is by token, so we pay per token. Is it the same with the new platform, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are getting in similar ways. In the moment, we are also thinking about packaging certain services, but this is an ongoing process. We also need to see how the market is reacting. I mean, it's a young market in the moment, so there is a constant process of a pricing team. Ali is part of it. I'm part of it, so where we are constantly monitoring and adapting the pricing scenarios.
Okay.
In the moment, we are checking very flexible models, particular for startups and young companies, in order to use inference and GPU hosting.
Okay. And next question, like how long do you take to apply or I'm saying the word to aktualisieren
Yeah.
new models?
Okay.
Like when new models come out, how long do you think does it take?
You
have to check.
mean the LLMs? Or?
Yeah.
You mean this updating?
Yeah,
Maybe.
exactly.
Maybe, yeah. So we observe the market, especially of European models, a lot, and make some advertisement. There's also a booth here on the fair called Sophie, so Hall 13, where we train the new generation of European models. And we are in all these networks of European model trainings here at Fraunhofer, and if we know there's coming new models, there are several European initiatives ongoing. Sophie is very prominent at the moment. Is this ready? And if it's proved, we bring it to our hub. So This is a process we are taking care, because also from Fraunhofer we have a strong stage in this model training area. So I would say we are completely aware which model comes from Europe.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. And just to say, there is no principal rule, because we have various sources where the models come from. So Jonas is one source, Meloxina is one source. We are a little bit also depending on the update speed by the partners.
Yeah, sure.
But I mean, they are working close to market requirements, so I'm sure that we are pretty well in a timely manner. Yeah.
Okay, last question. You mentioned that we can apply for, like, if we do want to put products on the marketplace for SMEs, that there's, how can we apply to this? So how does it work?
So we didn't have enough time to make a live demo.
Yeah.
Please go to the platform AIoDP.ai. Yeah, then you go through, you see the marketplace,
Okay.
you see the registration, and if you have a question, you have to contact our support team, of course. But
You can contact us also
or
directly.
maybe
Okay.
us directly.
Yeah.
You have our email addresses. Maybe you have a picture already from our names, and would be great to onboard your products on the marketplace.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
Yeah,
Ich komme mal zu Ihnen rüber, weil ich kann Sie sonst nicht verstehen. Hier ist so ein irrer Lärm.
unbelievable. Yeah. So, first of all, thanks a lot for your great introduction into what's coming next in Europe. Really, you've achieved already much. And on the other hand, in the very beginning of your speech, you said we need to catch up with the speed of the US companies in terms of development and so on and so on. And then on the question of this gentleman over there, in terms of marketing and advertisement and so on and so on, you said there's nothing planned. So you can have the greatest idea, you can be as much innovative as you can, but if you don't have the right folks to bring it into the market, to advertise it, to talk about it. So I'm, as an innovation leader, haven't heard about it before. And it's the first time I really hear about it. You can say, oh, you're not informed well enough. But on the other hand, it wasn't available. So what do you against it? So how do you leverage your direct reporting line to the EU Commission, as you mentioned before, to really catch up with the speed and marketing as well?
Well, thank you very much for this input. I mean, I'm glad you are raising the issue. You are now addressing some subjects that we also as industry partners are frequently addressing. I mean, these European research projects are not they don't have overwhelming budgets for market, to go to market. And this is, we can discuss that in multiple ways, but it is in the moment something that has to be overcome straightforward. But in the moment we are working more or less directly with the industry partners for the promotion side in this context. And this is basically the channel of communication that we are using for the next 2 years.
And you're completely right with your statement. That's the reason why we're also here. And of course, I mean, the project is half-time. So it's a 4 years project, 2 years done. So we have achieved already a lot, I think. But now we have to go out. Yeah, and that's a step. And also to get your reaction, your question, your feedback, which is very important for us. But you're totally right. We have now to go out and tell Europe about that.
Yeah, thanks Lutz, thanks Joachim for the nice presentation. It's also for me the first time to hear about this project, and I'm very surprised what efforts are put to get better and to get compatible with China, US and so on. But you mentioned that the project will last until end of 27, right?
Yeah,
that's true.
So what's the next step? What work should be done to preserve and to, let's say, to keep on going? All the efforts was done.
Now you are in the middle of the project. The question of sustainability, that's a question, I think, of many research or innovation initiatives. This is integral part of the project to find a sustainability model, to do also find new financing, of course, and also that the platform has at least, that's also the approach what Lutz showed with the model hub, to ensure some income for the platform, that we have also some business models. So this is integral part of the project to build a business model, sustainability plan. It's not so easy, especially if you scale it to Europe, but of course this is part of the project to ensure this. And also we think if we are successful that also additional investors will come to promote this, and to support this. But therefore we need a very stable platform and a huge amount of customers, users on the platform to convince others to bring new fresh money to the platform.
Yes.
If you have ideas, you're welcome to.
No, this is
Or money, even better.
so we have a very intense discussion with the Commission on that one. On this path, there's multiple initiatives, but the goal is really to bring all those assets that have been generated in this project into a company that is starting to operate in the market. In the moment, there are serious discussions what the business model should be. Is it just more service orientation, or should it actively promote the market? I mean, there's a lot of issues to be thinking. We are a publicly funded operation. We do not want to compete with industry. We want to support industry. So in the moment, the most favorite model is in the moment talking about an industry foundation that should be created out of this initiative, straightforward. But again, these are ongoing discussions. I don't want to comment too much in detail in the moment. But there's something happening. A question. You had a question.
Yes,
Bleiben
hello.
wir bei Ihnen, weil sonst kann ich Sie nicht verstehen.
Yeah, genau. Thank you very much for the very interesting presentation. And it gets about time that the European organization builds up more competitiveness against Asia and North America. And there's a German saying, do something good and talk about it. And what I'm really missing is you said you're contacting the industry. What about like the VDMA, Verband Deutsche Maschinenanlagenbauer, to cooperate with those guys, that they, when they have some initiatives going, that you are part of that? Because then you address a big area of organizations.
Yeah. Well, very, very valid question. So it is always two aspects on that. Number one is it's always a little bit the chicken and egg discussion. So when we started the project with 28 partners, there is also challenging to come up with a common solution scenario, and you want to present something. So what you don't want to present is, I call it slideware. So just presentations and PowerPoint and no products behind. So it was one clear objective, that we are showing operational ready platforms and operational proof of concept models that are really robust and working. And this is also why the industry partners are taking care of the implementation of such infrastructure, just to make sure that we have industry grade applications. So that was really one clear objective. We are now in the transformation in the next phase, starting to outreach. We have already selectively talked to some industry associations, not necessarily in Germany, but we're talking in Italy to a large industry, in France, in the Nordics, and of course Germany will follow soon. But this initiative is now starting more or less by summer, that we are starting to outreach to the major industry associations. But there is a potential showcase coming up with one industry association probably very soon, most hopefully also by summer, early fall time frame, not in Germany, but also very interesting, but I don't want to talk about it. But there is one discussion with an industry information that is very far developed. So they want to use this platform also for their own purposes under, I would call it a white label scenario, to use the platform, but also the technology stack.
And of course, if you can connect us to this organization, this would be great. We are now connected to several organizations, also from our Fraunhofer network, of course. But of course, if you can provide also some access points, we are welcome to receive it here.
Yeah, sure, I can do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Können gleich noch gerne.
So, I think time is more or less over now for our session. So we would like to thank you very much, for your
Thank you very much.
Availability here, for your questions, and hope you can also promote the platform. Go to the platform, register, please register, and be part of this European initiative. I think we all agree Europe has to stand up, bring forward Europe technology, and we are strong enough to compete. So thank you very much.